Welcome to another episode of How I Discovered My Gift with yours truly, David D. Simons. I am excited and delighted to have today's guest on the show. Florian Monkam was born and raised in Cameroon from a young age and was already showing his entrepreneurial spirit. He began starting his own small business by selling books, DVDs, computers, and smartphones. And after moving to Europe, Florian began his career in consulting and the audit industry. He's always dreamed of having freedom and independence, and decided to learn about real estate investments with the best coaches, web entrepreneurs, and investors in North America. In lieu of his 60-hour per week job, he instead decided to start from scratch and develop a real estate portfolio of several millions in Canada, Europe, Africa in 36 months, allowing him to become financially free at just 28 years old. Welcome to the show, my brother. Really honored and delighted to have you on. We've been talking about making this happen, so I'm glad it's happening.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. So I want to start, man. I want to start with the journey. Take us back, man, to young. Well, you're still young, but little Flo in Cameroon. From there to Canada to like, how does this happen? We'll talk about the childhood and getting to where you are.
Actually, yes. I was born in Cameroon, so as you can see, I speak French. So I was born in Cameroon, 1990. So I'm 30. I'm on my way to 34 years old now, and I went to French school. So my parents was my father is a doctor, so he's a cardiologist, and my mother is an economist. So they both have regular job, and they managed to give us a proper education. So we went to private school. So nothing extravagant, but we have a good situation actually. So then after my school, I went to France when I went to study like business, international business. And in the meantime, I thought my brother died in 2015.
Jeez.
In 2005, actually. Sorry, he died in 2005, and it was really hard for me because it was due to a lack of money by ourselves. So my parents has issues in their finance. So my brother went to some kind of business that led them to commit a suicide actually. So it was a waking call for me because it shows me that due to a lack of money you can like take back decision that end up your life. So I managed to work to make it to make that it does not occur another time on our family. So I went to good school, had good grades, but it didn't work. So I went to work for KPMG, Deloitte, all this company, and above the good grades, the good salary, the good situation, I was like, there is something missing. There is something missing. So this is when I made some research on how to have other source of income. So this is how I start watching YouTube, read several books regarding personal finance, investment, entrepreneurship. So and I went to real estate because I also had several issues regarding my to find apartments to live in. So I was living in my friend's house, months after months. So I was a bit frustrated because I was like, I cannot like come to study, got hard times to find apartments to live in.
Yeah.
So I went like, okay, the first thing I will do when I will get a job is to buy my own apartment. So after I bought my own apartment, it was harder because it takes me a lot of money every month. So I was like, wow. So you got 2K per month, more than half of it goes to the rent, goes to a mortgage, and you live way not even better than before. So I was like, okay, I gotta do something actually.
Yeah. Wow. So this inspiration to do something better had multiple sources. You said so one, seeing that the traditional job, get a good job route didn't work. Two, again, my condolences for the passing of your brother. I've lost a brother. I don't know if your brother was older or younger.
Older.
Uh, older. Man, that's it's undescribable pain.
Hmm.
So I get it, bro. But all of that led you to explore and seek out a different path. So tell me, like, obviously the entrepreneurship gene or something was in you to start selling these DVDs and doing these things, and then it transformed as you got into real estate. So tell me about where did that spark start?
You mean the okay? Because yeah, because when I was young, actually, my mother told us that if you want something, you have to work. So when you're a kid, you would like to have like the last DVD, the last cell phone, the last the last clothes, whatever
Hmm.
you want. So and every time she told me that okay, if you need something, I can find you a job. So I went to like do several internship in like a garage, like a restaurant, like everything I can do. So while my friends were on holidays in France, in the US, in Senegal, every countries I can imagine, I stay in Cameroon to work actually. So this is how I started like making my own money. So I during the summer I was working with for my mother's friend actually. So they have like people who has a garage or has a restaurant. So she sent me there to work and earn money. And now with this money I started like buy cell phone in China. We sell it for for much money. Yeah. So I started like young age, like starting at 12, 11, 12. I started I was making my own money really early actually.
Wow.
Really early. Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Mm.
So when you look at it, Flo, what is your most dominant gift? When you look at everything that you do and how you do what you do, what do you think the gift is that's most dominant for you?
On a personal side or like business side, what do you?
All of it, right? So, for example, my gift is teaching, right?
Mm.
Like I use
Okay,
it on
yeah.
the personal side, I use it on the business side.
I think my gift is to like motivate people who wants to have change
Mm,
in terms of finance and teach them how to learn how to leverage like credit, finance, investment to make
hmm
to have a to make better decision actually, and to make it very simple for them because usually people are like, oh, investment is not for me, these numbers I don't understand, etc. So I'm trying to like break down to something very simple for them to understand and make them
mm.
like be aware of that it's not that complicated.
When did you know that you were good at this?
Since young age, because I was very I have very the sense of entrepreneurship at a young age. So every time my friends asking me, "Oh, how did you do that? How did
Yeah.
you do this?" Even when I was, I was the guy who was the last Nokia at the out of school. So every last phone I have it. Even my aunts, my parents, when they were looking for a new set, the last cell phone, I was the one who can find it. So every time people asking me, how did you get this? How did you do that? How can you show me how to do this? Show me how to do that. So at a very young age, I have this, this art of finding solution and helping people.
Wow, that's what's up,
Yeah.
man. So, what about this whole real estate piece? Tell us how you got into this. Like how did that start? And doing that in 36 months, man. Like that. Uh,
Yeah.
like, that's unheard
Yeah.
of.
But the thing is, when I went to France, so I have several many problems to find apartments. So I make sure that okay, once I get my first job, I will get an apartment for me.
Yeah.
So, I was working at KPMG, and a colleague of mine told me that, hey, that, no, he was actually looking for an apartment to live in.
Yep.
I went to him. I said, oh, you're gonna buy an apartment? He told me, yes, yeah. With your money, you can like borrow money. You can borrow money at the bank, and the bank gives you the money. You buy the apartment. So I was like, oh, that's nice. So I went. I asked him several questions. I have another friend of mine who introduced me to like Robert Kiyosaki, all that stuff. I was like, okay, so the real estate, you know, again, I have a moment where I was like, okay, real estate, it's simple. You take your money from the bank, which is not your money. You pay your apartment with, it's not your money, and you let someone else pay the mortgage for you. And at the end of the day, you get your apartment. So I was like, okay, this is the way. If I want to make millions, I have to buy as many as apartment as I can. So this is when I understand that, and I went all into real estate. So first I, but the thing is, I didn't have the down payment, so I borrow money from Cameroon, where student loans, like I bought a car that I resell for, and I keep the money to to have my down payment. So I went to all sorts of financings to be able to have my down payment. So I started in France, where I bought like ten apartments in Paris.
What?
Uh,
Wait, man. We gotta go back a step. So wait, how much was the down payment? And if you remember,
so
and
my first one,
yeah,
my first one is was it was 10K, something like that. The
okay,
apartment was 200,000 euros, and the down payment was 10K, 5%.
okay, wow, okay, got it. And you're buying a 10 unit, is that correct?
No, I bought 10 different apartments,
Oh wow, okay, got it.
10
Okay,
different 10 condos. So I bought 10. So the first one was I took I took a personal loan, a personal line of credit on another bank, and I take this money as a down payment to buy my first apartment where
yeah,
I was living in. And then I took, I think, 6 figures loan that I used for several apartments. Then I bought like small studios, condos, two bedroom, 3 bedrooms. Did a bit of Airbnb as well. Yeah, so I think I bought like 10 apartment in Paris. Like yes, it's maybe 8 months, 8 to 9 months. So
wow.
each month I was like, I was buying another apartment.
Wow, what gave you the courage, right? That's pretty bold, right? Like,
Mm.
and I, I, I'm assuming. Correct me if I'm wrong. You weren't in France that long. You came from Cameroon
Yeah.
to do this, so it's and you know what I mean. Learning a new culture, a new way of life, and you're adapting into and from being in Europe, a place where it's actually typically hard to do business. It's not an
Mm.
easy place to do business, and you're navigating through this, and you're doing this in 8 months.
Yeah.
What made you? What gave you the mindset and the guts to push through to do this?
Actually, because I was watching people doing that in the other people in France were doing that, so I was like, okay, even people who earn less money than me, like people working at McDonald's, at like small jobs. So I was like, no, I cannot, like, coming from like business school, like working in like big firms, having a good situation and be like that and having nothing. So in it's where you is in this type of situation, you have to be humble. So I learned from people who has no degrees, like no background, like academical background or professional background, like I used to do. But I was like, okay, if this guy as something that I don't have, and it's something that I want. I should learn from these guys. You know,
Wow.
so I just copy and paste what they did. I learned from them, and I was like, okay, so if they did that, I can do it. I can do it. So
Wow.
I always have this type of mindset where I was like, okay, if this guy can do this, I can also do that.
Respect.
So the only thing I need is the information. So I went to read several books. I'm not that guy who will went to like several webinars and during 5 days or whatever. If I want something, I say, okay, you got this info. What's your price? Boom, I buy and let's go.
Wow.
So if I know that something work, I will go take it.
Respect, man. Respect. Do you remember your first personal development investment into yourself?
Um. Yes, it was first. Yes, it was. Yeah, I read several books. I started with books like
Hmm.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Millionaire Fast Lane. So I read the several books who that really changed my mindset. Then I went to yes. Then I went to mentorship. So I learned I learned how to launch a business. I also learned how to manage credit because I was doing like online business and real estate in the meantime while I was working on my regular job. So now I take mentorship on both sides, real estate and also online business.
Very nice. Very nice. So so it's kind of like what I'm seeing, man. Is like you have this recap, and you have this propensity for business, already a hunger for it. You have this skill and gift to motivate people. Whatever you learn or succeed in, you're able to teach it and pass it to other people. So that's been a trait you've always had. And then
Mhm.
you already have this mindset of like, hey, I can learn from anyone, and at the same time, if you can do something, then I can do something. So how did this help you with this real estate component after you got these first initial like take us from, I imagine you left Europe to come to Canada. What happened in that transition? So are you still managing properties remotely? How are you? And also, if you don't mind going into, because real estate is littered with challenges, right?
Mhm.
So, what challenges did you face as you're, a new real estate investor, and dealing with all of that as well as now the transition?
So so yes, when I immigrated to Canada because I immigrated in Canada in 2016. Yeah. So I arrived in Montreal, and I started again for my real estate in France. I hired a property manager who still managed the 10 apartments. So you know it's something that I don't even work on that anymore, instead of the maybe the tax declaration. So but managing the property, I don't do that anymore. So when I went to what why I went to Canada, because in Canada I knew that in Canada real estate was very interesting. Access to funding, access to credit. It's even easier than in the US actually. So I went to Canada because I was like, okay, this is this is somewhere I can borrow more money and buying more, actually, because I saw a video of a woman who said that she had like 100 units. I was like, okay, I want the same. So boom, I take my flight. I went to Canada and I learned again. So I went to work to another big four firm. On It was Deloitte. So I worked with Deloitte, but my plan was already set up. So I was like, okay, I have to work maximum 3 years, learn how to invest in real estate, learn how to get funding, buy as much real estate I can during these 3 years, and in the meantime, teaching other people how to do the same thing. So I was like, okay, so when I went to Canada, the first 6 months, I buy my first unit. I bought my first triplex
Wow.
in Montreal. The first 6 months, 6 months after arriving, because I was already already, it was easier for me because I did that before in France, but in France it took me like several years. So I knew that, okay, as long as I can get financed, I can buy a real estate like very fast. So
Yeah.
I bought several plex in Montreal, like three triplex in Montreal. After that, I quit my job because I was already earning enough cash flow to let my job, and I went all in online business. So in the meantime, I left my job and I start like selling courses, coaching, trainings on in real estate. And the thing is, in Canada, I had a huge like audience because I was one of the first immigrants in French Canada to, yes, one of the first immigrants in French Canada to help new immigrants, people to invest in real estate, because you know like 3 years ago it was only for the people from Quebec, like white people, so
Yeah.
only those, there was no black people in Quebec teaching how to invest in real estate. So
Wow.
I was the, yeah, so I'm still the first one in terms of audiences and in terms of number of people that we uh, we help every year.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. So essentially, right, you're doing that gift again, man. You've built up this portfolio. You essentially started from scratch again, right? Going
Yeah.
back to, went to Quebec or Montreal initially, right?
Mm.
And you started from scratch, built it up again. I'm sure that gave even more confidence. Like I just built it again in a different place, the
Yeah.
same process, and now you decide. What made you decide to say, you know what, it's time to teach other people what I'm doing on another level?
Just my, because because people were keep asking me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because they knew, even in my entourage, like my friends, my family, my friends, my former colleagues, people from my business school, they see, they saw, because I was okay, because I share my stories on the social media, my Instagram stories, even my personal Facebook. So they see that, okay, I bought 1 unit, 2 units. So people were keep asking me. So I was like, okay, let's launch a YouTube channel and start sharing people how I did, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so yes, it has been something that I always wanted to do. So it was really easy for me to, my first launch I made like, I think it's what, $80,000, something like that. Just my first launch, but I did like, yeah, I think something like 1 year of free content. So during 1 year, I shared YouTube videos for free. I didn't ask anything, no coaching, no nothing. And then when I did my first launch, we made like 86,000 Canadian dollars the first one.
Jeez, jeez,
Yes.
man. It's phenomenal, man. And I think it's due to just from getting a chance to hear you, observe you, man. Your mindset, right? Because
Mm.
you really are a real estate expert, but I think you're also a mindset expert, right? I remember a story on our, maybe you might remember that, you obviously will remember this happening to you, but I remember a story you shared on a mentorship call that we were on, and you shared how you were conducting an event, a real estate event, and live in person, and there was just all kinds of turmoil happening to where the fire alarms went off. I think the water went out, and you took. I don't want to steal your thunder, man, but I think this goes into the mindset that you have, that you don't let nothing stop you.
Mhm.
Can you share that experience, man, for the listeners? Because
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I did like, it was a live event. I think went with a little bit above 100 people. And yeah, the time when I was about to do the offer, the fire alarm start ringing. So the security came to the room, came to the conference room and said, okay, we have to leave the room. And I was like, you cannot do that. So I was about to start selling my product, and you telling me that I cannot, so I started being upset. Then we went down, I started speaking to people and saying, no, no worries, just stay there. And, it take like 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I was like, okay, let's speak to them. So I took like, I don't know how to say that in English, but it's like a soul, like where you put water. So I took that on the other side and I went on it, and I start speaking to my clients, telling them that, okay, you can, we know that we've been taken down from the conference room, but let me share you what I want to offer you today. Do you allow me to do that? They say yes. So I make the offer during the fire alarm. And when then the fire alarm stopped, and then we went back to the room, and I closed them like immediately, you know. But the fact that I keep the attention during this incident, keep
Yeah.
them in front of the hotel, because they could have left and back home, So
Right.
they went, they listened to what I gotta say, and in the meantime they stopped the fire alarm. We went back to the room, and then we did the job.
How much did you close? Just curious. I'm sure people are wondering, like, oh man,
It
how did
was I don't between 200 and 300, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most people would have just said, forget it, man. We'll have to do this another
Um,
day. You just refuse to lose, man. You just say, you know what? I spent the money to put this event up. We don't have this
yeah.
event. I'm going to present this offer, and we're going to make this thing happen. Wow, man. So what inspires you, Flo? You obviously have built a massive amount of real estate, right? I don't know how many units you have. I'm sure it's a lot of different units internationally. You're educating so many people. I and from my perspective, money is not a concern for you, but you're still doing it like you're just starting. Why? What pushes you?
I mean, I think what there is two things that pushes me to keep like, like investing and making money with my business is two things, like also results, because today's that I think numbers is a good way to see how well you how well you do, like in terms of result financially, not in terms of health, but in terms of like, if you go further, you keep making money. So I think, it's not it's a good way for me to see that, okay, I'm going further, like keeping investing. And in terms of, it's also in terms of time. I'm trying to, I think, like now, money is a good way to, you know to to buy time,
Right.
like, buy time, or also spending good time with people you love, and also buy time. So, if you can like buy a service that making you earn a lot of time or save time, for me it's better. Like, it can be like a service, or you know um something that can make you do things faster. Buy service to have more time, and also buy people to have, also to buy more time. So this is for the two reason, because it's a good way to see that, okay, I'm going further, and with the money, and also the money allow me to buy time, and save time, and spend my time like more wisely.
Respect, man. Use the money to buy time and spend time with your loved ones, man. I
Yeah.
respect it. Um, so as you're doing this, right? You're building, I imagine, teams of people. I don't know how many people work for you, but I imagine
30,
it's
30, yeah,
30.
yeah, 30 people.
That- that's quite a feat, man. That's quite an army.
Yeah.
Like how does that responsibility push you? Knowing that you're affecting the lives of 30 people and their families, and managing that volume
Hmm.
amount of people, right? Like what is that? What's that like for you?
I think it's because it's a good position because you have to be a leader. Like it's a lot of leadership, even for your client as well as for your team. So today I can say that I have the response. I cannot like fair because I have 30 people, 30 families that count on me to spending having enough to go further as well for them. So, you know, I think it's a good thing to be a leader, to be seen as a leader of your own team, and as well as for your clients. So yeah, I think the most important part is leadership, and also make these people leader for themselves. So it's the same thing, sharing, like make them learn, make them grow personally as well as financially. So yeah, I would say that it's the most important part, and also the most difficult part, because it's not easy to be a good leader, to also uh, transmit this leadership in themselves, to make them good leader as well. So if you lead leaders, you can build something interesting.
For sure.
Mm.
So, Flo, talk to us behind the scenes, right? So we see the front of the scenes. How much? I don't even know how much you have under management in real estate. What would you say?
12, 12 million, 10 to
12
12
million.
million. Yeah.
That's amazing. So people will see that, right? They'll see the real estate. They'll see the 30 employees. They'll see, maybe the lifestyle, the great things. But they don't. What people don't see that you do, Flo, is the personal development, the learning, the stuff that you pour into your mind to be able to do what you do. Can you take us behind the scenes, man? What is your personal development over the years and even today? What is that? How much of that uh, do you pour into yourself? How much time do you spend developing yourself and
Mm.
improving yourself?
No, it's every day. Every day, I would say, like every day, because I started with, like, at the beginning is what it was: books, online trainings, watching videos, things that I'm still doing. So I keep watching videos, YouTube videos, podcasts, etc. But now it's more like having mentors, like people, you know, a coach, a mentor that I can have access to, and that can show me the way. And in terms of personal development, so it's every day, because I train. Yes, I train yes, almost every day, and every day I have my I learn a new thing. So I keep reading, keep learning new things, also taking time for myself. A lot of meditation, stoicism, to keep focused, So I spend a lot of time for me, at least 1 hour per day, just for me, when I can learn new things, having time for me, and make my mind clear in order to take good decision. So it's not just like having a coach, but having also a good discipline. So
Mm,
like training, you know, eating good, also like learning new things. So I think it's every day, and not just in terms of business and self development, but all aspect of our lives.
respect, bro. Respect. Now, regarding distribution, Mark, I think you're a marketing genius. Um, what what do you do to market yourself in a way that helps people to learn about, and this is twofold, right? I would love for you to share how you market yourself, one, but two, share with us how people can learn about how they can get involved with your program. So yeah, if you could answer that for us.
So how I market, because how I market myself is, you know, I do a lot of, I'm when how I market myself is that I share people with people like facts and principle that works for me. So I give them example and I invite them to follow how I do. So I'm trying to connect with them to and to share them that, okay, if you do that, here's the result. For instance, I can show them here's the result. So I can show them, okay, this is the new car about, but before buying that, here's what you should do. You know, so it's a bit of lifestyle marketing, but it's surrounded of learning and good lessons that they can apply for them. So maybe people who doesn't listen to what I say will see, okay, this guy is in his car, he's showing that he have a beautiful car, but they don't understand how why I did that and how I did that and the different steps to get to that, you know. So my strategy in terms of marketing and how I brand myself is that, okay, I always show them the result and I tell them, okay, here's how you can do that, and I give them lesson and I invite them to follow me because I show them, okay, this is something I do constantly. So I market myself this way, and yeah, actually the way I bring people to also listen to me is that I show them, okay, you don't have to like save for many years to have your first down payment, or save for many years to have money if you have a problem. It can be like a family problem. It can be like someone who has some difficulties that you want to help them. So I before telling them here's how you should invest, I tell them it's better for you if you have access to cash, to money, to line of credit, because we never know if someone like kidnap your someone, a member of your family, they need $50,000 to free them. We'll be glad to have this money to solve the problem. So so this is how I bring people to follow me, because I won't tell them, oh, here's how you can get $50,000 and buy this car. I tell them, here's the car. Either you like or don't like the car, you still need to have $50,000, because if you have the $50,000, either way you can invest to buy the car after that, or you can have $50,000 if you have any problems of or any opportunity you want to seize like as fast as possible. So this is how I communicate in French actually to bring them to me, because I can give them the proof. Here's the car. I give them a lesson and I show them it's not what you think. Like it's not what you think. Or even if you want even if you don't want the car, even if you don't want the investment, you still need the money to face some problem that can occur anytime.
Respect, man, respect. And then tell us a little bit about your programs and how people can get plugged in with what you do.
So, uh, uh so what I do now in actually I teach people how to invest in real estate. So we have online program, coaching program as well, where we teach people how to invest in real estate. But after having like had thousands of people to do that, I now teach them the step before. So because people want to invest in real estate, but sometimes they don't have the money to invest, and they will save like 5-10 years before having the down payment. So I teach them also how to get access to credit, business credit and personal credit, and also private credit. When I say private credit, is when you can start raising money from other investors, like where you have a passive investor that can invest in your project. So there is different level of financing, but I show them all the all the strategy that I use, because there is personal financing, business financing, private financing, and also life insurance. So I give them the four stage and tell them, okay, this is the first step you need to do. Then you will do that. So I teach them how to get access to money that they can use to invest in real estate or invest in other businesses. So I teach them the how money works, so how you can use money to save time to take decisions, save time to invest, save time to seize opportunities as well. So yeah, so I have these two types of program, and yeah, we do like monthly boot camps where where we first teach them how how credit work, how money works, how to use credit to invest, to seize opportunity, or to back themselves for any issues. And after we teach them how credit work, how to leverage credit, we teach them how to invest that credit into real estate.
Love it, man. That's smart. You teach. I love how that shows your marketing mind. You know, you teach the step before, right? So
Yeah,
they don't feel like, oh man, I like overwhelmed, right? Like
yeah,
because
sure, sure,
you
yeah.
know
It's better for them because we focus just on one thing. You know, because sometimes even even this last training I did, he said, "Oh, I want to buy a house. I want to buy." I said, "No, just before thinking about what you're gonna buy, just go and get the money first. You know, because you don't even have the money, and now you're talking me about what you want to buy. Before knowing what you want to buy, just go get the money first." So it's easier for me because this is why I restructure my program, because before that I was doing all. This is how you're gonna take the money and invest. Now I say this is how first you're gonna understand the money, raise the money. Now that you do that, I will show you how to invest. So it's two different big steps to do.
love it, man. So what about how people can plug in? Do you have like a challenge, a webinar, a masterclass? Where can
Yes,
people like?
yes, I will. Actually, is if you go to
And we'll
immobilier,
make sure to plug it in the show notes.
yes, immobiliercanada.ca. So English is real estate Canada.ca, but in French it's immobiliercanada.ca.
Okay.
Yes, we'll also share the link. Yes, we do events like every month, every 2 weeks. We have ongoing events, so you can get in anytime you watch this or listen to this. There
Love
will
it, man.
be there will be an upcoming session when you will get there.
Beautiful. So you got stuff that you do for Canada, so people from the U.S. can plug in and
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
Spanish.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
Because Canada and US is the same in terms of credit,
Right.
but you know, even because I have clients from everywhere. Most of them are from Canada, but I have clients from the US, from Europe, from Africa, from Latin America, from everywhere, because you know these principles are the same everywhere. So one, not not especially for the real estate, but for how credit works. You know, it's the same in France, has the same in Canada. The principle, not the type of financing, obviously, but how credit works and how you can use that for you is the same everywhere. So yeah, they can get in.
Love it, man. And we'll make sure to send people there. And what is this workshop called? What do you call this training?
Oh, it's but we have with the I will say that in English. The first one is the business is the I would say bootcamp is the down payment bootcamp,
Beautiful,
down
beautiful.
payment bootcamp,
I-
and or business bootcamp, business credit bootcamp. But I call that down payment bootcamp. And the second one is the real estate challenge, real estate Canada challenge, real
Beautiful.
estate challenge. So down payment bootcamp and the real estate challenge.
Smart, smart. I love how again that smart marketing how you separated that. This is
Yeah.
all about the down payment. Forget everything else. Just
Yeah.
focus on that. That's good, man. Wonderful, man. One question we always ask listeners, I mean, we always ask guests on the show, you weren't prepped for this at all, is what's the difference between one's gift and one's purpose? One's gift and one's purpose.
One gift and one purpose.
Yeah, one's person, a person's gift and the person's purpose. What's
I
the
think
difference?
a person's gift is the his abilities to do something great. His capacity, his power to do something great. I think purpose is the mission. Why you do that, why everyone has a purpose to impact people, to help other people. So, and I think the gift is the best way to do to make the, if I can say that in English, but to make the purpose. So it's yeah, I think this is my definition of that.
I love it, man. Beautiful stuff. Good stuff, bro. Anything I didn't ask you that you want to share with the folks? Anything that you think I didn't mention, or you feel like
mm, yeah, I think we say everything, yes, but it's just I'm just a regular guy from Canada with a really bad accent, which who teach people how to manage credit to invest in real estate. And yeah, because I did real estate everywhere, because we just spoke about France, Canada, but I restart again in the US actually, because I invest in Ohio. I sold my properties out there, but I used to invest in the US, also Asia, Bali, Indonesia, Mexico in Tulum, Africa as well. So so we keep doing like everywhere we can. So yeah,
a
so I can
global investor? I
I
love
can
it, man.
I can help people to invest like anywhere in the world, as long as
Wow.
the principle are all the same.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Well, we're gonna send people your way. Thank you so much, man, for pouring into the people, taking your time, and this is great value, bro. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely.